What's up everybody, my name is WiseTV, back again with another video. Today we are hopping back into one of the channel's favorite subreddits, and that'll be r/prorevenge. Anyway, let's get right into the video. Greg. Freaking Greg. So I work at a pizza slut. I think he meant Pizza Hut, as a delivery driver, and we have this one customer that everyone hates to go to because he always pays an exact change. No tip. Ever. If the driver doesn't have the change he wants, he will call the store and demand the driver bring back him the 50 cents. He has done this multiple times. This happened during a blizzard, of course, and Greg orders a pizza. Nothing special, but his total is $15.11, and I draw the short straw and have to take it to him. There's about 3 inches or so of snow and still snowing. I get to his house and ring the bell. At this point, I take his pizza out of the insulated bag. I want it cold, but everything turned out so much better than I had anticipated. He takes forever to get to the door. When he finally gets there, he hands me $13 in cash and a handful of change. In the process, he drops a dime. I count up everything and I have $15.01, 10 cents short. At first, he asks if I could just cover it for him. I say, no, I'm not going to pay 10 cents out of my pocket for your pizza. If it were any other customer, I probably would have. It's only 10 cents, but not for Greg. He starts blaming me for dropping it. He dropped it. Again, I say no and that he will have to find the dime or get another. At this point, the pizza is already getting cold. It was well below freezing out there. He starts kicking around the snow on his porch, looking for the dime. I spotted the dime right away but kept quiet. All the while he was muttering about how I dropped it and I should pay for it. I'm trying my best to hide my grin. About 3 to 5 minutes later, I'm starting to get cold and the pizza might as well have come out of the fridge. I tell him I am timed on these orders, which I am, and that he should go inside and get money. He of course claims he has no more money and starts his sob story about him not having money. So I give him back his money and leave. I told him that if he finds his dime to just call the store and we will bring him his pizza. I know he has the money, so I pull around the corner and call the store to tell my manager what happened. During the call, Greg calls the store saying that he has money. I get back to the house, pull out the pizza again, and go back to his door. He hands me all the money and I make sure to count it. Slowly. It's all there. I asked him if he found it in the snow and he said, no, I just got it from the house. Not the most dramatic story, but I was happy. He got cold pizza and I got paid. He hasn't ordered since. Screw you, Greg. That's actually pretty hilarious, and it's actually one of the more believable stories on this subreddit. I would have the hardest time trying not to laugh while he was looking for the dime that was right in front of him. Definitely served him right though for being such a jerk. Going out of his way to pay and change was totally unnecessary, which he had it coming toward him. Hope he has a microwave. This story happened a couple of years ago and it may be the worst thing I ever did. I was 17 years old and being Dutch, I rode my bike everywhere. I lived pretty close to my grandparents and would bike past their house on a daily basis. Their house was at the corner of a Y-shaped intersection, and there was this guy who lived on the same intersection who was the worst driver I ever met. He would just not look when driving out of his garage and just sped into the road. He had nearly hit me twice already, and every time he just cursed at me to get out of his way. Now you have to believe me when I say this, but I am not a vengeful person. But something about this just annoyed me so much. My grandma also loves to ride her bike around town to do the groceries, and I knew I had to do something before my grandma would get hit. I asked my grandma about the man and she told me what I already knew. This guy was an asshole, and everyone did everything wrong except for him. I told my grandma what I was planning and if she would help me. She wholeheartedly agreed, and together we made a plan to teach him a lesson he would never forget. I decided to hang around the guy's house for a couple of weeks to take note of when he left for work every day and how fast he was going. I worked everything out to the smallest detail, no room for errors on this one. I started practicing my falls again and looked up some tutorials to prepare myself for the performance of a lifetime. One sunny Monday morning, I get up and start stretching and warming up my muscles. Today is the day. I grab my bike and drive it around the corner of the guy's garage. I mentally prepare myself and start my bloody nose with ease, making sure to get it nice and bloody in the process. Then I hear it. The garage door opens. I now have 3.7 seconds before he'd be racing out of his garage. Like I said, every detail, no room for error. I start driving my bike as fast as I could and get ready for the impact. And let me tell you, it went beautifully. I was no longer sitting in my seat and had my left hand already off my handlebar to help me with the impact of the car. I rolled over the hood and windshield of the car and landed in a nice rolling motion as I taught myself all those years ago. I ended up hitting the ground on the passenger side of the car. All in all, the whole accident took less than a second, but I still remember it as if it happened in slow motion. The guy was freaking out as he thought he just killed a guy, and if you were looking at the amount of blood on his car, it wasn't that much, but on a white car every drop stands out. He would agree. As I lay there next to his car, he came screaming out asking if I was okay. Of course, I pretended I wasn't and took my sweet time trying to get up. It was at this point that my grandma came running out of the house, right on cue, screaming, "My baby! You hit my grandson!" The guy didn't know what to do. He's so full of shock that I thought he may pass out. I'll give him credit. He kept his cool and knew he was in the wrong. He called me an ambulance and stayed by my side. When they arrived, they checked me out. I was fine. A couple of bruises and a small scratch on my knee from hitting the pavement. They bandaged me up and left. My grandma brought me to her car and brought me home. A couple days later, I rode my bike past the guy's house again and noticed a piece of paper on one of the car's windows. For sale. Call this number. I asked my grandma what happened, and word on the street is that the accident left him traumatized and now he refuses to drive anymore, taking public transit everywhere and selling his car. My grandma is happy that she can ride her bike without having to worry, and I am happy that I don't have to worry for her life. We talked about it afterwards, and both of us agree that although what we did was a horrible thing to do to someone, it had to be done before someone would actually get hurt, and we don't feel any remorse about it. I already see the comments right now.
Oh, that's so fake. How would the grandma allow that son to do that?
Okay, I was looking at the Reddit comments. Yes, that's like the most reliable source on the internet, am I correct? The original poster said that he was an actor throughout high school, so although his grandma was hesitant, she let him do it because of his practice and his history. Although he's traumatized, that's pretty crazy, but just like the story says, but it's better him not driving than actually hurting someone in the future, so I guess in the end it's positive for the most part. That must have been some really good acting skills though. Like, I would not have the guts to get hit by a car even if it was planned out. That's just a little scary for my part. This was in 2013 when I was in 4th grade. My elementary school did not have the funds to keep our regular PE teachers and hired the YMCA. Real fun. They did not know what they were doing handling 44th graders that just want to go home and play with their Wii U. Ah yes, the time without Fortnite. The teacher I had was probably the worst of the 5 teachers my school hired. For background, I have type 1 diabetes, and at that time I needed to go to the nurse's office 10 minutes before recess and lunch started. One day, I was not feeling great because my blood sugar was going low. Luckily, it was 10 minutes before recess started. I went up to the teacher.
Hi, I have type 1 diabetes and I need to go to the nurse.
You're not going anywhere, mister. Go back to the rows before I punish you. I was getting more and more afraid as he raises his voice. I was a really wimpy kid, alright?
But Mr. Jones, I need to go to the nurse's office and take a buddy with me.
If you go, then I will send you the principal myself and you will get suspended. I am now enraged. I had a very good friendship with the principal because of diabetes. She would do anything for me if it had to do with diabetes.
So send me to her. I dare you.
Okay then. He then picks me up and drags me to the principal's office. I'm scared for my life right now because I was built like a twig at the time. We get to the principal's office and he lets me go and to speak my case alone, luckily. Me bursting into tears.
He didn't let me go to the nurse's office. He carried me over here.
The nurse comes to the principal's office to calm me down and test my blood sugar. My blood sugar is 45, which for people who do not know about diabetes is very close to a diabetic seizure and death following. The principal was fuming angry and told me to get help with my blood sugar. As I walk out, I can hear the principal straight up yelling at him. I call my parents and tell them about the whole thing in my blood sugar. When I get home, my mom says, "The PE teacher has been suspended without pay for 2 months. The end." Oh, I hear the comments returning. Oh, this is so fake. Oh, this is BS. Why didn't he get arrested? Assault. Oh, no, this is unrealistic. Oh, no. Shut up. The story's still interesting, right? Okay, then. Chill. Moving on. I'm an interior design by trade, and we get a lot of different types of clients, ranging from the super rich who just throw money at everything, down to those who want the best for as little money as possible. One particular client was really annoying, horribly racist, and would squeeze every penny out of me. The project was a 2-story residential house, east to west facing, so from the get-go it was already an annoying project. For those who are not acquainted with aspects, east to west facing houses are more annoying than north to south because of the location of the sun. I won't bore you too much into the details of the project, but the client wanted a very luxurious house and they want it built for cheap. I told them repeatedly that it's impossible to do it at that budget, and their comeback was always, "If a man can go to the moon, we can design a 2-story house." Pisses me off so much. Fine, you want me to design? I'll design. I went to Google Maps, found the exact coordinates of the house. I did sun simulations, shadow diagrams, and designed around it. What I ended up with was my Sistine Chapel. Facing west is the grand living / dining / kitchen, open space with double-story glass panes. Outside is an overhang that covers an outdoor living. There's a surprise though. Every year during the winter solstice, the shadow cast by the overhang and the windows create a giant penis shadow on the feature wall on the open space. Ha! I guess you can call that the angle of the dangle. Okay, sorry, enough of my immature jokes. Geez, this dude's smart. Every time I read these stories, they just make me feel like a straight up idiot. Fake or not, I still feel stupid. I think this one's actually believable, but chill out comments. I feel you guys brewing below me. Anyway, that's going to be where I conclude today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, because you guys seem to like the Pro Revenge series I'm doing. There'll be a new upload up Friday tomorrow. I have a lot of stuff going on. It's going to be a really busy day. But if you enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like, subscribe if you're new. If we hit 20k by the end of this weekend, I'll do a 20k live stream either Sunday night or Monday evening. Either way, we'll find out. But anyway, thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video.